following is a presentation of Blazer Broadcasting and Post Up Productions.
Since 1970, the Portland Trail Blazers and their fans have shared many exciting moments, and to thank the many supporters of Blazer basketball, we have put together this compilation of memorable moments, beginning with the most memorable moment in franchise history. June 5th, 1977, Portland edged Philadelphia to claim the World Championship and to set off a major celebration in the Rose City.
Okay, first of all, it's the World Championship trophy, and it goes to the world champion, Portland Trail Blazers.
This is one celebration we will never forget, and we have many more to share with you. December 30th, 1980, the Trailblazers trailed powerful Philadelphia by 1 with 1 second left to play. Coach Jack Ramsey designs the final play for Billy Ray Bates, puts the ball in Kermit Washington's hand, and hopes for the best.
Kermit on the inbound play, inbound, Bates at the horn, he scores! They score, and they win it! The Blazers win the ball game! They are all over Billy Ray Bates!
October 16, 1970, the first regular season game in franchise history. Only 4,273 fans made their way to Memorial Coliseum to see the Blazers and Jim Barnett defeat the Cleveland Cavaliers 115 to 112. May 4th, 1974, this is a franchise day for the Portland Trail Blazers. Bill Walton, the College Player of the Year from UCLA, turns down offers of big money in the ABA to join the Blazers.
You set any particular goals for yourself in professional basketball?
Not really. I'm just going to try my best to help the team win, and if we win, fine. And if we lose, I'll have to just try harder, I guess.
Walton, of course, went on to lead Portland to its only championship in 1977. April 25th, 1985. One of the great things about NBA basketball is its unpredictability, and such was the case on this day. Portland needed a win to wrap up his first-round playoff series with Dallas, and Adi Norris became the unlikely hero.
Yeah. Can you believe that? Listen to the crowd.
May 10th, 1977, the Blazers are on their way to becoming the NBA version of Cinderella with an upset in the conference semifinals. The Los Angeles Lakers entered the series with the league's best record, but ran into a red-hot Portland team.
Lucas with a steal.
What an incredible jam. The Blazers go on to sweep the Lakers and advance to the NBA Finals. Next, we see one heck of an aerial attack. November 25th, 1990, the Blazers put together what was described as the perfect quarter in bombing the San Antonio Spurs.
Richler in the middle. Hershey the trailer score!
Portland outscored the Spurs 49-18 in the first quarter, on its way to the 11th straight win to start the 90-91 campaign. San Antonio coach Larry Brown later said an all-star team wouldn't have beat Portland on that night. May 31st, 1990, Phoenix, Arizona is the site as the surprising Portland Trail Blazers rekindle the flames of Blazer Mania once again. The Blazers' 112-109 victory over the Sun clinches the Western Conference Championship and sends them to the NBA Finals for the first time in 13 years.
It's going to be short. Rebound, Buck Williams. It's over. And the game is is over. The game is over. The Blazers win the Western Conference Finals.
May 3rd, 1992. Riots erupt in the city of Los Angeles in response to the Rodney King verdicts, and it puts basketball in perspective. The Blazers' playoff game with the Lakers is moved to Las Vegas, where Portland was better at putting the civil unrest behind them and advanced to the conference semifinals.
Down court. Oh, my! Oh, highlight film time.
May 23rd, 1990, the Blazers staged the second biggest comeback in playoff history. Our victims, the Phoenix Suns, in Game 2 of the conference semifinals. Phoenix danced off to an 18-point lead at halftime, only to see the Blazers rally after intermission behind a red-hot Terry Porter.
It's Terry. Three-pointer. We're tied at 106. Terry. Blazers lead. Phoenix calls its final timeout.
Portland defeated the Suns 108-107 and went on to win the series in 6 games. January 3rd, 1978, the Blazers staged their most celebrated comeback. Portland trailed Chicago by 4 with only 13 seconds remaining in regulation before turning the table.
Van Leer, the inbound play. Hollins, Hollins, he scores! Seconds to go. Van Leer will inbound. Van Leer in the inbound play. Look at the D by the Blazers. Van Leer inbounds. May score close. Korzik, Hollins. He scores!
February 13th, 1998, Portland Trailblazer president and GM makes a trade to bring hometown favorite Damon Stoudemire back to Portland.
Damon, quite simply, we think is one of the best point guards in the NBA.
And the fact that he's a hometown kid who, will be here.
And there's Damon Stoudemire, the little general.
March 27th, 1991, found the Blazers in the Tacoma Dome taking on the Seattle Supersonics, and despite it being a home game for the Sonics, thousands of Blazer fans have made the trek up I-5 for the game. Seattle ran out to a 24-point lead, only to see the Blazers charge back.
Clock at 5, 3 to give. This time, no. Saved by Portland. Porter, score! Portland leads!
The Blazers went on to beat Seattle 112-107, sending the Blazer faithful home happy. 2 weeks later, Blazer fans had another treat in store for them. April 13th, 1991, the Portland Trail Blazers defeated the longtime rival Los Angeles Lakers and, in the process, clinched the Pacific Division crown. The victory was number 60 in a season that saw the Blazers finish 63-19 with the best record in the NBA. January 10th, 1996, this Chris Dudley block of Alonzo Mourning seals the deal.
He's having trouble. He gets to Mourning, puts it down, throws it up. Blocked by Chris Dudley! Blocked by Dudley! And this ball game, I believe, is over.
The Blazers defeated the Miami Heat 90-89. December 4th, 1994, Milwaukee's Vin Baker was about to take the win out of the sails of the Portland crowd. Baker's three-pointer tied the game with under a second remaining. Then Portland's Clyde Drexler gives us an incredible moment to remember.
Mark Bryant on an inbound play. Who's going to break out? It's Drexler. Turns around, puts it up. It's good! Score the basket! He scores at the horn! Clyde Drexler.
Clyde's miracle three lifted Portland to a 106-103 victory over the Bucks. January 28, 1979, high-powered Philadelphia was in Portland when Larry Steele provided an unlikely shot. Steele's unbelievable heave led Portland past Philadelphia 116-94. May 19, 1990, in terms of sheer drama and excitement, few games could match Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinals against the San Antonio Spurs. The home court advantage had held through the first 6 games. Would it hold up for Game 7?
Porter back to Clyde. Clyde for 3. Yes, he hits! Clyde Drexler for 3. Rip City, baby. The bucket would tie. Porter drives. The game is tied at 97.
Portland defeated the Spurs in overtime to advance to the conference finals. To build a winning franchise, nothing is more important than the NBA draft. Blazer Executive Vice President Harry Glickman had the honor of announcing the Blazers' first ever draft pick, March 26, 1970.
Delighted and elated to tell you that the Blazers have signed their first pick in the 1970 collegiate draft and the first player to be signed by our new team in the National Basketball Association.
And I think, that I can really be a big part of the program here. Now, as we'll be sort of starting from scratch, so to speak.
Petrie went on to share Rookie of the Year honors with Dave Cowens in 1971. February 9th, 1992, the NBA All-Star Game. Clyde Drexler did Portland proud with an unbelievable performance.
Drexler, what an athlete! What an athlete! Clyde Drexler.
Clyde's 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists made him runner-up in the game's MVP voting. May 24th, 1974, the winningest coach in NBA history, Lenny Wilkens, becomes the player coach of the Portland Trail Blazers.
I had to give it some thought. I felt that I was still in pretty good shape, and I love the game of basketball. So I did have to seriously consider, whether I want to go in that direction at this point. And as you see, I have decided.
November 14th, 1992, Terry Porter found the zone and served notice to the Golden State Warriors and the rest of the NBA.
Throw the ball around the perimeter. Porter for another 3. Yes, he has 7 threes in this game.
Porter went 7 for 7 behind the three-point line on the way to 40 points. Terry's marksmanship at the time set an NBA record for most three-pointers without a miss. February 21st, 1988, the Blazers were on their way to beating San Antonio 117-112, but the night belonged to Blazer guard Jim Paxson.
Cross court to Holton. Holton to the top of the key. 6 minutes to go in the half. Here's Paxson down the lane. That could do it. He does.
The typical Paxson lay-in put him over the 10,000-point mark in his career, the 30th player in NBA history and the first Trailblazer ever to reach that milestone. May 11, 1992, Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals, and the Blazers and the Suns made it a memorable day.
KJ up on him, starts to drive, and got to hurry, and he goes, puts it up, he scores! And he is fouled! They could tie the game.
The teams battled through regulation and 2 overtimes before Portland won 153-151, the highest scoring game in NBA playoff history. March 16, 1984, the Trailblazers played host to the Chicago Bulls. Blazer fans definitely got their money's worth. The teams battled for 4 amazing overtimes. Jim Paxson led the Blazers with 41 points, but a man who would become a Blazer 8 years later beat them.
Higgins back to Watley. Watley starts to drive, and he goes, penetrates. Oh, my God! And he is fouled with 2 seconds to go.
Enos Watley's shot was the deciding factor in the longest game in Blazer history. The contest lasted 3 hours and 24 minutes. December 10th, 1995, the Houston Rockets fell to the Blazers 103-101 in a double overtime battle. Arvydas Sabonis dished out the game-winning hook.
Sabonis has won the game! It's good! Arvydas Sabonis, the big boy from Lithuania, has won it!
November 15, 1991, Portland fell behind the Minnesota Timberwolves by 21 points in the third quarter before an unknown rookie rallied the Blazers.
Seconds, plenty of time. Back, the rookie, he's got it! What a job he's doing. He is doing a terrific job.
Robert Pack burst on the scene with 13 fourth-quarter points as Portland rallied to a 107-102 victory. May 28, 1992, Salt Lake City, Utah was the setting for Game 6 of the 1992 Western Conference Finals. The Blazers and the Jazz were in the midst of a hard-fought game in a series before Portland pulled away down the stretch and advanced to its second championship series in 3 years. December 1st, 1990, the 90-91 regular season saw its share of miracles for the Blazers as they recorded a franchise record 63 wins. But none were more unlikely than this visit to Seattle. Portland trailed the Sonics by 3 with the first overtime in its final moment.
2 seconds to play. Three-point brigade is in. Aims to inbound the ball. Terry Porter. Shot. Goes in. Gerritsen says it's good. Ronnie Gerritsen says it's good, and we are tied.
The shot counted, and the Blazers took advantage, beating the Sonics 130-124 in triple overtime. May 31st, 1990, Portland defeated the Suns in Phoenix to win the Western Conference Championship. The team was eager to celebrate its first trip to the finals in 13 years, but the fans back in Portland were going crazy. More than 10,000 fans held an impromptu rally at Hillsborough Airport as the team returned to the Rose City.
Talk to him. Oh, it's great. The best fans in the NBA.
April 13th, 1991, the Blazers showed a national television audience who was the new power in the Pacific Division. Portland's 60th win of the season clinched its first Pacific Division crown since 1978 and was part of a 16-game winning streak. January 3rd, 1993, with the Houston Rockets leading by 7 with less than a minute to play, Portland seemed ready to be saddled with a home loss.
Thorpe trying to look to get somebody. He does. It's Bullard. Backcourt stolen by Rod Strickland. He's going to lay it in. High game with 4.9 seconds to play. Are you kidding me?
Strickland's play forced overtime, where Buck Williams preserved the unlikely victory by blocking Otis Thorpe's dunk attempt. That is some incredible basketball, and we still have more to come. First, let's take a moment to remember the beginning of a new era in Blazer basketball. May 31st, 1988, Larry Weinberg had a hand in the Blazers franchise for the first 18 years, including the championship team in 1977. But the longtime owner turned over the reins to Paul Allen.
I wish Paul Allen and Harry Glickman, our players, coaches, and the management of the Blazers, great success. I've been part of the Portland Trail Blazers from the beginning, and the Trail Blazers will forever be an integral part of me.
February 1st, 1986, the Blazers gave the term red hot new meaning.
Vandeweghe, top of the key from 20 feet, and he fills it up. Boy, Portland hotter than a firecracker early on here in this ball game.
Portland scorched the Clippers for a franchise record 156 points with 70% shooting for the game. The Blazers were led by Kiki Vandeweghe's 36 points and Michael Thompson's 30. March 29, 1991, the Blazers earned the nickname Comeback Kids. 2 nights after overcoming a 24-point deficit against Seattle, the Blazers were in Los Angeles and down 21 in the third quarter before again charging back.
Magic and Ainge. Block inside, great help. Pride beats through everybody to the ball. Drexler, but Williams scores. He's fouled and Coates.
Portland down the rival Lakers 109-105 in overtime. November 7th, 1996, Kenny Anderson showed us the way to beat the buzzer.
Overtime, and now with 4 seconds to go, Blazers try for the win. Or it's the second loss. And they get it into Kenny. Kenny going to take the shot, throws it up. He's going to be good. It goes at the buzzer. Kenny Anderson wins the game. Blazers win. Blazers win.
January 6, 1989, the Sacramento Kings were in Portland for the 500th straight sellout game in Memorial Coliseum. It was indeed memorable.
Huge turnover. Drexler to the hoop. Nice dish to Duckworth.
The Blazers and the Kings battled through regulation and 2 overtimes before Clyde Drexler's 50 points lifted Portland past Sacramento 147 to 142. February 6, 1970, Harry Glickman was very much like a proud new father when his dream of a big league sports coming to Portland was realized. After many frustrations and long hours, the Portland Trail Blazers were a part of the NBA.
Then, under the chairmanship of Abe Pullen of Baltimore, a new expansion committee was put together. The terms were revised. They were ones that we think we can live with and be successful with. And finally, at a meeting of the league in Los Angeles last February 6th, we were awarded the franchise and were ready to start playing.
June 16, 1990, a soggy weekend didn't dampen Blazer mania. Only days after seeing their team fall short in the NBA Finals against Detroit, more than 7,000 people turned out to pay tribute to the Western Conference champions at our rally in Portland's Pioneer Square.
It's raining out, the weather's not the greatest, but you fans are the greatest, and you make it sunshine every day in Portland for the Blazers. You guys make it happen.
April 21st, 1970, after landing an NBA franchise, the Portland Trail Blazers needed a coach. And the first head man on the bench was Roland Todd from Nevada Southern University in Las Vegas.
It was a fantastic opportunity because it was Portland and it was on the West Coast. And if you look at the choices we had this year between Buffalo and Cleveland and Portland, why there's not much to pick from. Portland is the obvious choice, so I got to do something that I've had in the back of my mind all my life, plus in the West where I would prefer to live, so it couldn't have been a better opportunity.
Todd's first year Blazer team notched a respectable 29 wins in their inaugural season. December 6, 1985, during the 85-86 season, the Boston Celtics notched an incredible 40 wins in 41 outings in the fabled Boston Garden. The one loss to the Portland Trail Blazers.
It's Kersey out to Bowie. Everything the Blazers doing right. Kersey's 20 points.
Jerome Kersey's 22 points led 5 Blazers in double figures as Portland stunned the team that would go on to win the NBA championship. April 23rd, 1995, on this, the last regular season NBA game to be played in Memorial Coliseum, it's only fitting that the fans be the ones singled out. The sellout streak for the Blazer games has passed 800. The last game not sold out was on April 5th, 1977. The number of fans watching home Trailblazer games is rapidly approaching 13 million. From the beginning, the crowds have been a huge part of the Blazer tradition. April 28, 1998, it's Game 3 of the 98 NBA playoff series against the Los Angeles Lakers. Blazer coach Mike Dunleavy launched a balanced attack to overcome the dominance of the Lakers' Shaquille O'Neal.
And O'Neal answers to try and soften the crowd a little bit. 32 for the biggest looking ladder in the NBA.
6 Blazers scored in double figures in the 99-94 victory over the Los Angeles Lakers.
And foul. What a play by the little guy.
9 on the shot clock.
Rashid inside Arvidas. Sabonis. Holy Lithuania.
Blazer fans did their part in the victory, generating an electric environment for the home team. It doesn't get much better than that. Beating the Los Angeles Lakers at home in front of the greatest fans in the NBA. We hope you've enjoyed these memorable moments in Blazer basketball. And many thanks to you, the greatest fans in the NBA, for making these moments possible.
This has been a presentation of Blazer Broadcasting and Post Up Productions.